Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Noodle speaking, and today we are going to take a look at the two machine guns for the main battle tank. This is a bit of a tough video for me. I've been tanking very seriously since Battlefield 3 and have probably over 30,000 kills between 3 and 4, and so my machine gun is a pretty big deal to me, the one I choose. And you know, I do enjoy the staff shell glitch in Battlefield 4, but I like to kind of get personal with my enemy. I like to use the tank for a bit more than just a pure anti-vehicle eliminator. I like to get up in their face. I like to use a machine gun rather than the staff shell and its glitch. So you know, this is a pretty big debate on the web, and in my own mind too, because the Fitty BMG, the heavy machine gun, and the light machine gun, there are some differences. And I've not done this video for quite a while because I've been quite undecided in Battlefield 4 about which one I should choose and why I should choose it. And in the end, I will tell you which one I pick, and it might surprise you why I pick it. But first and foremost, we have the heavy machine gun. The heavy machine gun is a Fitty BMG. BMG stands for Browning Machine Gun, designed by John Browning, a weapons manufacturer. And it is mounted just like the LMG is. It's mounted right next to your main cannon on your tank. And the HMG has a slower rate of fire at 300 RPMs, but it does do more damage than the LMG. It does 50 max damage, 38 minimum damage, not accounting for headshots. So you know, you can one-shot headshot guys at under 15 meters, that's not a bad thing to be able to do. You're a pretty good shot with it. There is a lot more drop in Battlefield 4 to this to the heavy machine gun. In Battlefield 3, you could snipe campers, just put that crosshair on their head at like 300 meters, and boom, boom, and they're dead. But in Battlefield 4, you have to kind of compensate for that drop quite a bit more, but it doesn't matter. It's pretty much always a 2 to 3 shot kill at any difference, which it's hard to beat that. It's a pretty darn good thing if you can hit them. Another good thing about the HMG, it does do some moderate damage to helis. I mean, because of the tank shells, which is, I feel, kind of dumb. A tank shell hitting a heli should blow them up completely. Any shell, but in Battlefield 4, they've decided that they don't want us going out there and destroying all the helis, so it does do less damage. And you can kind of finish them off with your heavy machine gun. And if you're shooting at a jet with the heavy machine gun, it does a whole heck of a lot of damage. I think it does 5 damage per shot. So if you get a whole bunch of shots out of them, I mean, I've taken a couple jets out with a heavy machine gun. It's a pretty darn good job taking jets out. So what is the HMG, say correctly, best at? I would say it's probably best at sniping enemies far away. I mean, it's good at that. Still with the extra drop, it's still amazing at sniping enemies that are far away. So now we're down to the LMG. The LMG is also known as a coaxial machine gun. Basically, the LMG is an M60 Peschneg or 240B slapped on a tank, just like the HMG is. It fires the lighter 7.62 by 51 round for the Abrams, or the 7.62 by 54 Russian round for definitely the T90. I don't know what the Type 99 fires, but it's one of the two. It doesn't matter. They will all do the same damage. And the nice thing about the LMG is a much higher rate of fire at 650 RPMs, which is double plus 50 of the heavy machine gun. It has taken a big damage nerf in Battlefield 4. It has a maximum damage of 20 and a minimum damage of 16, making it at least a 5-shot kill without headshots. With headshots, of course, you double your damage, so it would be about a 2.5-shot kill, so it would make it a 3-shot kill. It doesn't do any damage to helicopters or jets, which is a little bit different than the heavy machine gun. So you have to kind of weigh your options. Which one do you want because of that? So which one do I prefer? Well, you know, after a long internal debate, going back and forth between them, you know what, I think I will stick with my Battlefield 3 pick of the light machine gun. Well, Noodle, that's a noob gun. It's the first one available. Why do you think it's better? Well, here's why. The heavy machine gun does do more damage, but because of the very slow cyclic rate at 300 RPMs, you end up missing a lot of enemies. I feel that at pretty much any distance, I end up missing guys between shots. And it's just pretty much anybody that's moving is very, very hard to hit. The speed of travel of the heavy machine gun is very slow. It's really unrealistic, considering that in real life, the 50 BMG actually travels slightly faster than all of the 30 caliber rounds. So, I mean, it's a video game. There are going to be some unrealistic things, and they had to make something bad about the heavy machine gun, and they definitely did that wrong, but it's a video game. What am I going to say? Anyone up close is hard to kill because of the slow rate of fire. And like I say, just miss people between the bullets. Yes, I could probably take 100 hours to get the movement correct, to get like the internal muscle memory to become like a master of the heavy machine gun, but quite honestly, I don't have the patience and time to do that. The light machine gun, while it does do less damage, the rate of fire is double. So you don't end up missing guys when you're shooting at them like between shots, because there's an extra bullet and a half between every bullet of the heavy machine gun, if you see what I mean. Like if you were shooting someone who's running across the screen, there's more bullets going down range, which helps you actually get damage on the target. And in all reality, it's really the time to kill, which the time to kill is if you're sitting in one spot and you're shooting at somebody and you're not missing any shots, the time to kill of the light machine gun isn't that much less than the heavy machine gun, due to the fact that it does have twice the rate of fire. It does over half the damage, but it's twice plus a little bit rate of fire, so it's not that much slower to kill somebody with the light machine gun, and you're almost guaranteed to get more hits on the target with the light machine gun because of the higher rate of fire. It's really not that bad when you're trying to do those long 200-300 meter snipes of enemies that are sitting in there camping. It does take a little bit more time, a little bit more bullets on target. It's got the same drop as the heavy machine gun, but anyone moving at a distance, which is pretty much most people in the game, are always moving. I mean, yeah, you do have some campers sitting out there in distance, but anyone moving, you're going to have a much better shot of hitting them with a light machine gun. Again, because of that rate of fire, it's just going to be easier to hit them. I find I always miss people with having a machine gun. It gets really freaking frustrating. I die way less from the zombie C4 hordes running up to me and throwing C4 onto me because of the light machine gun. The heavy machine gun, I miss them a whole bunch, and they get that C4 off, which is a real pain in the neck because twice the classes in Battlefield 4 have C4. And while I do like having the ability with the heavy machine gun to do a little bit of damage to helicopters at a distance, it's still hard to hit the helicopters at a distance due to the fact that the bullets of the heavy machine gun are very slow. And really, with that secondary weapon, I don't want an anti-air or an anti-vehicle weapon. I want something that is good, that I can turn, quick switch to it. If I'm shooting in a vehicle and I see an enemy running up to me, quick switch to that sucker and mow him down quickly and reliably. I'm not into an anti-vehicle weapon. I want an anti-personnel weapon as my secondary weapon to my tank, because in real life, that's what it's made for. It's not made to take out vehicles. It's made to take out anti-personnel with the coaxial machine gun. I know it sounds like in my opening segments that, wow, the heavy machine gun really it sounds so much better. Why would you even pick the light machine gun? But it's a simple fact that the cons of the heavy machine gun far outweigh the pros of it. Yes, the heavy machine gun does more damage and stuff, but in all reality, the cons of it, the rate of fire being less, the speed of travel, the bullets being less, making it harder to hit it, just far outweigh the good things about it. And that is why I picked the light machine gun. That's just personally my choice. You know, I really feel that DICE has nerfed both of the secondary machine guns in Battlefield 4 from Battlefield 3, and they probably could both use a bit of love, because it feels like they do a lot less damage and they're way less effective in the game just as a whole. Not comparing the two, just both of them are less effective compared to Battlefield 3. But I think in Battlefield 4, what they were trying to do is make the tank more of a dedicated anti-armor tool. because they made the LAV and AA, when the AA is not in its camper, sit back in the base and just be a noob mode, much better at soft target elimination and weaker against tanks. I think they designed the tank to just be a straight up anti-vehicle to anti-vehicle tool, which it definitely does do a lot better in Battlefield 4. Back in Battlefield 3, when I was in the then way OP LAV, I would totally bait tanks, not care about them, and they would pretty much have no shot of winning against me if I was in an LAV. But in Battlefield 4, even if I'm better than a player that is in the tank and I'm in an LAV, I kind of tiptoe cautiously around them, because they do a whole heck of a lot more damage to LAVs now and anti-air vehicles than they did in Battlefield 3, which is probably a lot more accurate to real life. And I definitely think that's the trade-off DICE was going for. They're trying to make it more of a tier, where the tank is the top dog when it's armor, because in real life that's what it's about. And the LAV is definitely way more about taking out enemy infantry, soft targets. And the AA, unfortunately, in Battlefield 4 is way better at taking out jets because of all the lock-on missiles. But if you use the AA as a non-anti-air weapon, it is really good with the Zuni rockets at taking out enemy infantry. And that's the kind of the rock, paper, scissors trade-off they're going for, and I think they probably accomplished it pretty well. Let me know what you guys think, which is the best choice for you personally down in the comments. If you have any more questions about why I made this choice, why I use the light machine gun over the heavy machine gun, let me know. I'm open to answer any questions. And until next time, guys, my name is Noodle, and always remember, use your noodle.